Welcome to South Florida saltwater fishing. I'm Heath, and it's time to get into the bite. Dolphin in the boat. Oh my God. Woo! Solo kingfish trip right there.
Let's do this. Let's do this.
That's mutton snapper right there, baby.
Let's do this. Let's do this. Let's do this. Let's do this. Let's do this.
Okay, folks, welcome to South Florida saltwater fishing. It's about time we do a catch, clean, and cook episode. Had several requests to do this lately, so I figured, okay, it's about time we give a little bit back to everybody. I pick one of the most popular fish that people tend to watch the channel and explore the avenues about how to catch. This is the King Mackerel. Before we get into this though, if you want to learn more about fishing, grow as an angler, or just see some great and exciting offshore fishing adventures, you can start by hitting the subscribe button. And don't forget to turn on the notification bell so that you won't miss a thing. So we're going to get underway and get into this right now. We're out of Boca Raton Inlet this morning. We're going to go head to the deep edge of the reef, do some trolling. We're going to set out a planer with a bonita strip. The rig for the planer is the Penn International 30 spooled with 85-pound braid. That's attached to a number 6 planer, which is tethered to 100 feet of 60-pound monofilament leader. And then that's attached to my lure, which is a blue and white mylar sea witch, a dolphin-colored trolling skirt, and a bonita strip tipped with. We're in about 100 feet, so we're going to set out the lines and head a little deep to about 250, 300 and curve back in towards the shallow edge over the deep ledge of the reef. Got our planer set. Fish on the planer. That's a fish right there. Chilling out the line. Coming up, gonna be a good fish. I'm gonna need to gaff. Fish. Looks like a good kingfish. He's over here. Taking off, so I'm gonna let him run. Do his thing. Put a little bit of heat on him, wear him out. Kingfish, good kingfish. There we go. That's a solid kingfish right there. All right, so that's catching a kingfish for you. Nice solid king too. Glad I was able to capture that on film and be able to share the experience with everyone. Now we're going to get into cleaning the kingfish. My favorite way to clean a kingfish is to fillet. So the first thing I'll do is I'm going to outline the fillet on the fish. Now, before we go any further, there's a little fact that I want to share with everybody, is that kingfish can be skinned the same way you skin a dolphin or a mahi, just by yanking the skin back. It comes off fairly easy. I like to do this because kingfish skin is really thin, and if you go to fillet it and skin it the way you would typically with skinning a fish, between the fat layer and the flesh, sometimes you'll go through and you'll end up having to re-slice through and get the skin off. So I tend to peel it back with my hand. Little tip, if you're ever looking to skin a kingfish. Alright, so once we've pulled the skin back, we're going to continue filleting the fish, cutting down the top side all the way to the spine, the vertebrae, and then we can go on the underside. Alright, so now that we've filleted the first side of the fish, it's time to flip them over and do the second half. Same process, we're going to outline our fillet, we're going to remove the skin, and then we're going to remove the flesh from the carcass. Alright, so now that we have both of our fillets on the table, it's time to debone them. So kingfish have lateral line pin bones running down the center of the fillet. So you just take your knife and you'll carve up either which side of them. And you're going to have to go about halfway down the fillet to get rid of all of them. Kingfish lateral line pin bones run about halfway down their body. Some fish have none. Some fish have them all the way down, like tilefish. Kingfish runs about halfway down, so just make sure you get them out. It can kind of stifle your eating experience when you chomp down on a sharp bone. Nobody wants that, right? Right. And then we don't have to worry about removing any rib cage bones, because during the skinning process, the skin holds onto the rib cage bones, which is another cool tip about skinning a kingfish and peeling that skin back. It takes the rib cage bones right with it, so you don't have to worry about carving around them or shaving them off and losing some meat that way. And after we've deboned it, it's time to portion it out appropriately. Don't make your slices too big. If it's a thick piece, make them nice. Make it so that everyone can get a little bit of food. Alright, so that's the whole cleaning process of kingfish. Now it's time to cook them, and I'm going to show you my favorite way to cook kingfish. It's lemon pepper barbecued kingfish. So when I'm cooking any type of fish, I normally start out with a brine. This brine to me gets rid of any gamey, fishy, salty flavor. The kids don't seem to mind fish that doesn't taste like fish. So this brine is salt, juice of 1 lemon, ice, and water. Put it in a bowl, Slosh it all around, good to go. Make sure it's nice and mixed. Then I'm going to take my fresh filleted kingfish, I'm going to dump it in, and I'm going to let it soak for about a half an hour. So while we are letting our fish sit in the brine, it's time to go out, pack the grill full of charcoal, sprinkle on some fluid, and light it up. Let the charcoal sit and ash over real good, and then you'll let your grill sort of simmer down. You don't want a super ultra hot grill when you're going to barbecue fish. After the kingfish is soaked in the brine for about a half an hour, it's time to take it out and set it on some paper towels and dry it off. We want to kind of dehydrate it a little bit, but not too much. After we've patted it dry, what we're going to do is we're going to lather it up in mayonnaise. Mayonnaise is just some fat. It's going to keep it from sticking to the grill. We're going to lather up both sides with mayonnaise. After we've done the lathering and coating with mayonnaise, it's time to sprinkle on some lemon pepper seasoning on both sides of our fillets. Alright, so now we've got our fish all lathered up in mayonnaise, seasoned with the lemon pepper. It's time to go out and put it on the grill. Very important thing when grilling any fish, especially kingfish. You're going to want to cook them with the skin side down on the grills first. What happens is once your meat gets hot, that skin will stick to the grill. So if you cook it flesh side down first and then flip it over to the skin side is going to stick to your grill and you're going to have to scrape it off later. So always start with the skin side down. Very important thing that I do also when grilling fish is I don't put it on the bottom hotter rack. I put it on the upper level rack to sort of give it almost an indirect cooking effect. So lay my kingfish down, close the grill, give it about 3 to 5 minutes. The next thing you'll do is you open up the lid, you're going to flip your kingfish back over onto the flesh side, give it another 3 to 5 minutes, and it's done. You take it out, you serve it, man, it's gonna look delicious. Nice and golden brown with little lemon pepper coloring and flakes going on. My favorite way to cook kingfish. Alright folks, that about does it for this episode. I hope you had fun. I hope you enjoyed this kingfish catch, clean, and cook episode. Till next time, South Florida saltwater fishing, going wherever the cool wind takes us.